I started out making guitars that were inspired from the 30s, and I'm back in the 30s again with the cheap guitars that kind of went through time and everybody forgot about. We go, wait, this is really a cool little spot. These cheap guitars, well, they're just awesome. They understood how thick they should be, how much wood to put in these guitars. It's not nostalgia, it's really, they knew how to do it. They started, they got it.
The Waterloo guitars, they're made to emulate the sound and look of guitars that were made a long time ago, but not the real fancy, highly appointed, expensive guitars, but rather guitars that were being manufactured at the same time that were not expensive and not highly appointed, but had a characteristic sound that informed a lot of the music that was being played.
In the Waterloo, it's really important to make it play, because a lot of those originals didn't. They were cheap, okay? So nobody took care of them. They would have been stuck in an attic. And even if you bought one today and found one, you're gonna put a lot of money in it and make it play. So I wanted to make a guitar that would play, that was made rawly. In other words, we didn't over-sand it, we didn't over-finish it, we didn't try to make it into this beautiful, wonderful thing. We just took the wood, made it straight, stuck it together, and made it just like it was made in the Depression.
He never ceases to amaze me what he is aware of and what he thinks of. I think it's a perfect name. I wasn't aware of it, and I think most people that live in Austin were, that Waterloo was the alternative name for Austin.
Well, it's interesting. As long as I've known Bill Collings, he has had hanging around his workbench and his drawing table an old guitar from the 1930s with a sunburst and very simple appointments and a stencil on the headstock. And I always wondered what he was doing with it. Now I know.
One of the main differences in the construction is the sides of the guitar are not arched for the top or the back. They're flat. So it's a true flat top, and the back is actually flat on that back. So it's raw. Used a big net back then because there was no structure in it for the steel strings. The structure we put in it would be a T-bar or a adjustable rod. It makes a real solid structure so the body vibrates more than it normally would.
It's a simpler instrument, not to really hit a price point in the market, but to make an instrument that really is more valid to the tradition of how the original ones were made, but make it a much more playable and usable instrument.
The Waterloo is a vintage-inspired instrument. It's a historical nod to an instrument of the past. And so the colors that you have going on with the Waterloo are a very specific sunburst that kind of harken to another time. It's made to be a nod to the nostalgia of those guitars of the 20s and the 30s. And because of its starker makeup and its more closed-in design, it immediately invokes this emotional response that makes you think of an older guitar. And it really has the feel of some of those guitars of the 20s and 30s.
What Collings has been able to do is capture the essence of it and the simplicity of it and make it into a totally charming, fun guitar. You know, it's the guitar we all wanted.
Well, the beauty in this guitar is its simplicity. The rawness is actually the intrigue of that instrument, okay? It makes it more fun, I think. It is not that it's inferior or better or worse, it's just different. It's a period. It's what those guitars were.
I suppose I hope that people know that we want these instruments played. You know, as beautiful as they are, I think it makes us sad when they don't serve their proper purpose.
I really think that's what Bill wants to do. He wants people to enjoy playing the guitars. And these guitars are a ton of fun to play.
It's a player guitar. It's someone who wants to enjoy it. And you don't have to worry about it. Use it. Enjoy it.